Hey, good morning, Destiny Church family.
Hey.
David and Morgan here from Sarasota, Florida, giving you a shout out. I spoke about you last week in our Sunday morning service, and the people are happy for you guys that were coming, and they're sad that we're coming at the same time. But it's all good. We're excited about the journey. Well, we're also glad that you got to hear more from the Workman family last week. We know these guys are super excited about coming and doing life with you all and being a part of the ministry. We're excited, and you're going to hear more from them on future video chats, okay? And so today what we want to do is we want to share with you our journey over the past 11 years. And the reason being is because Morgan and I both began there in our teenage years.
So we graduated high school, went to the Northeast Community College, and then in 2006 we both on full scholarships, thanks for the Holy Spirit and the Lord and prayer, fasting. Went to the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. We both got our bachelor degree there, and while we were there for those 2 years, we went to Daystar Family Church, where Pastor Scott Schatzline and Miss Christy Schatzline are the senior pastors, and we were real involved in the college ministry, and David was really involved in the music ministry and served under Pastor Scott and got to know them very well, and we just love them and miss them.
And hey, they're coming in October, by the way. Get ready.
In October. So yeah, so then we finished college, and I was called to medicine. So I got accepted to medical school, and right after I finished college, got married, moved to Florida.
Within a month. Let me tell you what it's like to be a medical school resident, right? So I, at one point, had a part-time job as the youth praise and worship leader at the church. I had a full-time job. I worked on staff at the Christian school here. I was the music teacher and the Bible teacher. I also was the home person, I did the cook. I was the he-wife, all right? In addition to all that, I was working on my master's in business administration, right? So I was doing 4 significant time things. I still had more free time than she did. This girl lived in the books. I mean, anyway, so she's been busy. She tries to block it out, but all of that. And so what happened for for me, when I was here from 2008 to 2012.
Sarasota.
Again, I was hired on to the church to do youth worship. I was hired on at the school. God did some really cool stuff. And I became the children's pastor here at the church for a season. And
love kids ministry.
Oh man, we love it. We're excited about what's going to happen there at Destiny too for our kids.
Yeah.
So at the end of that season, Morgan's medical school was finished, and her medical residency program happened in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And that's where she's going to take over again.
So we moved across the country to South Carolina. I started my 3-year residency in family practice. It was worse than medical school. I had a record week of working 120 hours one week, and not as much other times, but it was also a part of my life that, besides the learning, I try to block because it was awful. God was really gracious though and helped me a lot. I mean, I really learned that in my weakness He is made strong. Learned a lot. Was it was just a time that God really sustained us, and
His grace
kept
was
us
there the whole time
while we were there. And I'm doing residency, and David becomes a part of the church staff there as well. He had his MBA, a master's in business, and they hired him on as the financial pastor. So he managed the finances there at the church. Just to let you know, we had like how many thousand people could sit in that sanctuary?
It was huge.
Up to 5,000 people. So he's managing the budget of that church.
But there weren't 5,000 people there.
5,000 people. No, he had to do prayer walks like every day to pay the bills because that was a faith walk. Yeah, we got stretched. He got stretched. I'd call him, "What are you doing?" "I'm on a faith walk." Prayer. So then also another funny role, actually, he became the youth pastor. And people would make fun, like, who would trust a youth pastor with the finances? But this this guy's multi-talented,
man.
and that's what he did while we were there. And at the end of our season in Spartanburg, we were praying, fasting, asking the Lord, I'm done with my training here really shortly. Where should we go? Where should we move? Should we start a practice? Should I join a practice? And the Lord directed us through a number of ways. We'd like to tell you later. There's a whole other sermon message on coming back to Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida, where we are now at the Tabernacle Church, and where we've been since 2015.
2015, it was July 1st we moved back here. Since that time, Morgan has been a full-time mom, a full-time doctor at a local urgent care. I was brought back on this church staff, which is why we're back here, to do outreach, men's ministry, Royal Rangers. It's just kind of like a Boy Scouts, but Christian version today. And then also discipleship. Since that time, I've been put over our assimilation process, which is basically a bunch of fancy words for from the first time people step foot on a campus until they're in a small group of people doing life together. I was overseeing all of our visitors, first, second, third time guests. And also, we started a small groups program here, which is great. We're about to launch our next one in a few weeks. We're going to have over 30 small groups, so I'm excited about that. Awesome. So that's been our season here. And then I believe we've already shared with you how God's calling us back to Rainsville. Yeah. Listen, the past decade, we both agree, it's been training. In the words of Dr. Ron Cottle, training for reigning. We know that God has an assignment for all of us there at Destiny. It's our God-given destiny, right? Yeah. So be prepared in your hearts. Ask God what He would have for you. What role would He have you to play as we move into our destiny? It's going to happen because God's on His throne, and we are going to be a people who seeks His face, seeks His ways, puts Him first. I believe in you, Destiny Church. We love you so much. We're praying for you a lot, thinking about you a lot too. Yeah. We will see you in just about a month and a half, all right? Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.